market review. This time we are going to be straight to the point. So yes, welcome back for a new episode of the Sunday market review. Actually, the second one, because the first one was last week. So let's get into it, right into the chart. So what I was thinking is, as I said, currently there is only two markets that are actually interesting. The stock market, the real estate market, and so on are just highly undervalued, and and the risk is bigger than the potential reward. And so I personally, what I like to do is focusing on the markets that are actually the most undervalued and where I can make the most money in terms of reward. So I have a limited risk and a maximum amount of upside. So basically we are going to go on, right? So for me currently this is gold, silver and crypto. Then there is probably other assets, but this is the primary ones that are interesting. Then you can maybe look at the other type of how to say that, other type of commodities and other type of crypto assets, the altcoins. But I'm going to cover primarily the main three. So crypto, probably what I'm going to do is gold, silver and Bitcoin, Ethereum and Cardano. Yes, so let's do that. So last week on gold, we were expecting something. So we had this dip in. So let's look at the weekly chart because on it's going to be easier. Gold. So yes, last week we had this dip, and so we were expecting. What I was expecting is some kind of upward motion, and so what I wasn't sure about is whether or not we were going to fall after having this big dip, or we are going to continue. It looked like we are going to we are continuing. So me, I was positioned right at this level, about 1745, somewhere like that. So far the trade is going well. Actually, when the price was ranging here, I raised my stop just below this low at 1771. So if the price reverse, it might stop. But now that I start having some confirmation and that the price is moving in the right direction, maybe I'm going to add to my position during this week. I don't know, I will see. And so if we go back to silver, because those two are relatively correlated, we see that silver didn't have that much trends. So my trade where I was actually I had a stop at the bottom, but then when the price start moving up, I did it at 22.83. I raised my stop here in case that it's continue to move down. So now it's start to look like it's going maybe to reverse. If we can get some significant move, I think above the 24 level, I think I'm going to double down on double my position, because currently this is a small position. I wasn't sure if the market was going to reverse, and so currently yes, maybe this is what I'm going to do moving forward, because if I'm already positioned, but if truly the price is starting to reverse, I may add to my position. So yes, nothing much to say about it. Let's look. So here we had, if we take a look at the big picture, what I'm looking for, we had this big first run, then a correction, because if let's go to the monthly chart. What I think is we had this massive bull market in during 2000 and 2011, and so I think we had a big massive correction, and that the price is going to come back on a new bull market. And so we had this first big move during November 2018 and August 2020, which bring a lot yeah, a lot of attention into those assets. But then we had the correction. Now nobody is really interested in it, and I think we can go move on to a new leg on this bull market, and so that's why I want to be positioned for that. So this is what I'm looking for. And same for silver. We had this first leg here, even though actually on silver the bull market hadn't really starting yet. We had this big impulsion, but nothing really. Now we need to get out of this range, actually, this consolidation. So here we are at the bottom of the range. So anyway, that's a good opportunity to buy. With of course the stop at the just below the range. So if you are just looking for a short-term trade, you want to have your stop just below this low and exit somewhere around the middle of the range. But if you want to go to catch the next bull trend, the idea is going to be to start having a small position right here with a stop that is relatively wide or even close, but the idea is you have a very small position, maybe 0.5% of your account and something like that. And as the price is moving back up to this range and we start to have some confirmation, maybe you can double your position at the middle of the range. And if we exceed the last high, you can add even again, and then the likelihood that we are going to have a new leg into this cycle is going to be stronger, at least, because after this long correction, this long consolidation, now it's become more and more. We are. If we make new highs, the likelihood that we are going to continue in the bull trend is higher. So just take a look at that. Yes. Anyway, so yes, so that's what I was expecting. Actually, not really what I was expecting, but I wanted to have a view on: are we going down further, going to September, or moving up further? So far we're just moving sideways during this week, so you can't really tell. Given the strength on gold and how silver look, I may think that we are actually going to move higher, but we'll see. We need to see how the beginning of September goes, and so on, to have really some strength going on before taking any more risk. I'm positioned with a light trade. At least I'm positioned. Now we need to see some confirmation in order to add to our position. Now let's move on to Bitcoin. So yes, we had this, as I said in my video about the crypto trend. It looks like we have new trends going on, and so about 60 weeks, about a year long trend actually. So from 2019 to 2020, from bottom to bottom, and then from 2020 to 2021, a little bit. It's about 65 weeks, so still it's a little bit more than a year. But anyway, so looks like the bottom is in. We have consolidated, but now we need to confirm the continuation of the bull market by making new all-time highs. So if we look at on the daily charts, what we can see here, we already have a good. This is where things are a little bit complicated currently, because there is a lot of similarity between this pattern that we have seen with the drop, with this one on just on a smaller scale. but this one arrived after a very massive uptrend. So I would expect a pullback coming into September, but maybe it's just fooling everyone. Maybe it's just everybody is going to think, oh yeah, this is a pullback, and maybe the price is just going to go higher and higher from there. So because looks like we had some kind of volatility. The price is consolidated, but it's not really dropping. And the price moved up massively, but that's still contained. I mean, in a crypto sense, because on other market, this kind of move are just insane. But for the crypto market, that's not that big of a deal. 72%. I mean, that's you're going to see the chart of Cardano just after. You will see 72% easy. But yeah, so this is very confusing because I think in investing you have really this idea of going against the herd mentality, what everybody is thinking. And currently, whether or not you are a bear or you are just a technical analyst guy that thinks the bull market is going to continue, but this move is overdue for let's say a correction, I would think that currently there is about 70 to 80% of people that think that on the short term the price is going to drop. And so if that's the case, it could surprise everyone. It could surprise everyone because if the majority of people think the thing is going down, yeah, I don't know. As long as, because if there is people that think this thing is going down, I mean, the bears have already sold and they don't want to sell. Maybe they have shorted the market right here. Okay, that's fine. The fact that the move is starting to consolidate is maybe the guys that have take this move and take profit before the pullback because they think the market is going to come down. And so here we start having, so maybe, yeah, almost, yes, 2 weeks. 2 weeks has passed by and the price hasn't dropped yet. And so, and there is a lot of people that expect it to drop. And so it means that there is a very, very strong energy in the market to go up. So yeah, because something I really want to get across with those market reviews is the fact that when we see market and chart, we need to see people and not technical analysis and so on. Because technical analysis, people are really just they have understand, oh, there is moving average, there is Fibonacci, there are RSI, there are MACD, and so on and so on. And they try to look for correlation between what they see on the chart and what the indicator is seeing. And so, but most of the time it's just self-propelling prophecy or confirmation bias. And the only indication I have on my chart is just for me to have some views what's going on in terms of strength, but that doesn't mean much to me. What I want to know, what I like when the indicator I have, and maybe I should add more, but this is about understanding what other people are seeing when they are seeing those indicators. And so I want, when I see chart, I want to see people. I want to be able to see, okay, this is what people are thinking based on what they are seeing. I'm not looking at the chart and saying, okay, I'm seeing that, so maybe this is going to happen. No. I'm thinking, this is a chart, and this is what everybody else might be thinking about it. And so everybody else is the institution, the retail traders, and inside you have the good traders and the bad one, and you have everybody else that is just FOMOing in or out. And so you have different players that are part of the market. The market don't move, it is moved. And so we need to understand what people are thinking and have an assessment of that, and knowing also that the big player are here to fuck with the small player. And so when I'm look at the chart and I think, okay, most of the little players are thinking that, it means that maybe it's going to have the other thing is going to happen. Because something very interesting. Let's say here you have the bears and you have the guys that are looking for a pullback that are selling. So the big player see massive selling pressure, and so for them this is a good opportunity to buy. And so that's why, if that's the case, it means that this pullback might not go lower, maybe a little bit lower than that, but not that much, because every little guy that are selling, there is a big guy that is buying on the opposite side. And so and that's the narrative that I think is going on, because here we had this Wirkoff accumulation pattern, which states that the big guys are draining out the demand for the asset, the supply for the asset. So the fact that people are selling and those big guys are buying. So this is drying out, and then the price started moving up. So I think during this phase, the big guy stopped to buy too much, and then now that the people are start thinking maybe this is just a bull trap and the market is going to go back down again, or this is a pullback is going to happen, so I'm selling and I want to buy back lower. Yeah, I mean, that's a new opportunity for the big player to actually add to their position. So, but maybe they want more. That the only question is, are they positioned enough, or are they greedy and want to be positioned larger? And so if that's the case, they need to show the case on the graph that the price is going to drop significantly in order to trigger massive selling, so they can position themselves. So, but maybe they have accumulated enough here. That's the thing. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't currently. I don't know. I don't know. I want to see this week what is going to happen. I think it's going to be very interesting, because if Bitcoin make new highs, I think I can confidently say that that the big player are already positioned, and now the trend is going to have a sustained strength, and we really are entering the last phase of the bull market, the hype phase. So yes, this is what I'm going to look for this week. What is going on with Bitcoin? Are people? Yeah. Let's look at the shorter chart on the 6 hour. So what you want to look for during this week is really those two levels here with the 50k, and lower with the with the 46 46k. So you have those two levels, and those two levels, if they are broke, mean two different narratives. The first one, the one below, means that the big player haven't had enough selling pressure in order to position themselves, and so they want the price to drop to make a case for a really nasty sell-off. And so what we could expect would be something like let's see, what is the tool for making path? Where is it? Path. I want path. Where is path? Sorry for that. Wait a minute. And I never find this tool. Path. Here you go. So what we could see is doing something like that. So you will have the people that are thinking, oh, you know what, the price drop. So you have the bear that are going to claim, oh, this is awful, we are going back, this is the bear market, and so on. And you have the guys that were thinking, okay, this is just a pullback, that are going to say, oh no, I'm buying. And so you will have some more selling for the bears and some short trades and so on. But what really is going to be interesting is if we broke below, then we are going to move up to this point, and if we broke below that, then sorry. Then the guys that were thinking that this is just a pullback maybe starting to freak out and sell, and this is what the big players are going to look for. So and actually, if this happens, I'm going to buy at those levels, 40k and so on. This is something that I think I will buy aggressively. And then we have the opposite side. If the price starts moving up above this, then the narrative is completely different. Now we are going to say that for the big player, their position, and now we are going to move up really intensely. And I think short-term pullback, there may be even a case for to make a new all-time high without a pullback, I think, or at least maybe reach the all-time high, then maybe after making a new all-time high, having some kind of correction before moving even higher to 100k. So yes, this is what I'm going to look for on the BTC, because on the crypto market, let's be honest, Bitcoin is driving the market. And so, but something very interesting. So let's move on to altcoins. I don't think Ethereum actually had that, but there is a lot of altcoins. Yeah, Ethereum doesn't move much, but currently there is a lot of altcoins that actually are blowing up. And so this is really characteristic of what it calls the alt season. So we had a big move from Bitcoin, then people start worrying that Bitcoin is going to drop, or they are transferring their gain into altcoins, so altcoins are blowing up, and then if the pullback happens, they are going, if what they expect on Bitcoin, a pullback happen, then they are going to transfer their gain from the altcoins to Bitcoin, so they can take advantage of the net move up. But what is the interesting is, if the pullback don't happen on BTC, on Bitcoin, they will start FOMOing in back to Bitcoin, because they think, oh no, Bitcoin is going to go higher and the altcoins are not going to go that well. But that's really difficult, because we are entering is really the hype phase. So as soon as Bitcoin is going to make new all-time high, the hype is going to be just insane. At least this is what I expect. And so Ethereum doesn't do that much. I'd consolidate a lot more, and actually it does pretty exactly the same thing as Bitcoin. So we need to look for what is going to happen on this range. Are we breaking above or below? This is what we need to look for this week. If we break above, I think, yeah, same. If Bitcoin break above, I think I mean, those two, Bitcoin and Ethereum, seems to be very correlated. So I think whatever Bitcoin do, Ethereum is going to do the same. So let's move to the last coin, ADA USD. So yeah, ADA, it's a special case. As you see, massive bull run. And even if Ethereum is still an altcoin, it's relatively big. I mean, this is a second market cap and so on. So this is a special case. It behaves more like Bitcoin than it behaves to the altcoin. Cardano is still a small cap compared to the two other big, and so it behaves a little bit more like the other altcoins. So that's why I was saying that the altcoins are starting to pump, but Cardano is a special case because they are going to release a smart contract in the 12th of September, and then there is multiple things that can happen. Previously, we had those we had a bit of sell-off after the hard forks that happened, but now with the introduction of smart contract, a lot of projects are going to arrive on Cardano. So maybe on the short term, once the smart contract are released the 12th of September, we may experience a little bit of pullback, but I see that as a very short-term pullback because I think after that, when all those projects are going to to start arriving on Cardano and so on, this may drive adoption, and so a lot of people are going to buy in Cardano in order to use those projects and so on. So, and that can make even new highs. So what I would expect is somewhere around between the 10th and 15th of September, having a little bit of drop into Cardano. So I think there is still some margin. There is 2 weeks before that. So I think the next 2 weeks are going to be, what I expect is we are going to have a continue of the uptrend, and then you may experience a little bit of putback going to the last 2 weeks of September. That and the bull trend may resume in October. This is what I expect, but truly here I'm very speculating because there is so much things going on this project that is very difficult to estimate, because you have worst case scenario, I think, not worst case, but the very conservative case is going to be Cardano move up until 15th of September and then move down, but doesn't do that much after that, because even though the smart contract arrived, there is not that much project, or there was just too much hype around it, and those events were already priced in. Maybe this is going to happen. Or you have the extreme case that Cardano is going to have a very surprising good smart contract. And so if this happens, and what I say is a very good smart contract platform that is going to outperform Ethereum, and so the very best case is if people recognize that, and if that's the case, because maybe this is not, maybe the smart contracts they are going to release are not actually that good, the way to do them and so on. So they are saying that this is something that is going to be greater than what Ethereum does. I kind of believe them, but we still need to see it. It still need to be delivered, and actually there is people that are running things on it, and then to see, because there is also that Cardano is really saying that we are going to solve the scalability issue of Ethereum, and so there is a lot of expectation around that. And so this is why I'm looking really closely about Cardano and Ethereum, because this is this little war between those two that is very interesting, because if Cardano actually deliver on what they said, Cardano is in a possibility of surpassing Ethereum, and the term is flipping. So I don't know. They still need to deliver. We'll see. And also there is Ethereum that is fighting back because with Ethereum 2.0. So this is a very interesting battle that is going to happen, I think, during this last phase of the bull market on crypto, and so we will keep watching that and pay attention to what is going on. So yes, I think that's it for today. Thanks you for watching, and I see you next Sunday for the new market review, and we will see what happened during this week. So thanks you for watching, and I see you next time.